Well, it's like they say, desperate times call for desperate measures. So let's get desperate. Greetings, fellow Vita fans. This is James with PS Vita at 2 a.m. coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe. Well, thanks to current circumstances the way they are, I am now going to be making a new, as you can tell from the title of this video, series of segments up until August, because that's when the PlayStation Vita store closes, where I'm going to be recommending to you games you should be picking up from the store before the store goes into oblivion. Yeah, I guess that's a nice way of describing it. Oh, and make sure to post in the comments section what games you feel people should be picking up before the store eventually closes. Into oblivion! And hey, maybe you'll see your pick in a future video. Alright, here's my first suggestion. A Kid and His Blob. A Blob and His Kid. A Boy and His Blob. It's kinda like Lassie, only more bizarre. If the game developers were possibly doing drugs, I don't know. When Blobalonia, I just can never say that name with a straight face, is threatened by an evil emperor, the Blob comes to Earth looking for help. Instead, he finds a young boy. Help the Blob dethrone the evil emperor that terrorizes Bloboina, there goes my face again, and establish a friendship with the Blob that will last a lifetime. You don't need to know anything more than that. The game features blobs and you have to save the world. What more do you need? A Boy and His Blob makes its triumphant return, a reimagining of the NES classic. As the boy, you feed your Blob jelly beans and watch him transform into cool and useful objects to solve puzzles and escape danger. With its robust and emotional driven story, challenging puzzles, and visually impressive art style, A Boy and His Blob is sure to become a classic once again. Experience the heartwarming story through an all-new hand-drawn animated presentation. Transform the Blob into 15 useful items by feeding him jelly beans, such as the all-new caramel cannon and bubblegum bouncer, and classic beans like the licorice ladder, applejack, and tangerine trampoline. You just can't make these names up. Traverse woods, swamps, caves, and Blobina's outskirts, and even the Emperor's Citadel through 40 breathtaking levels filled with hidden treasures. Collect treasures to unlock 40 additional challenge levels that will put your skills to the ultimate test. And the game features blobs. That's pretty cool. Random, but cool. You guys probably know by now how much I just love to make the segues into the next games epic. So let's continue that trend. We now go from training blobs onto the high seas in a survival horror adventure experience. Yeah, that didn't really sound as epic as I thought it would. NightCry is set on a cruise ship, and you have been invited along for the cruise of a possibly short lifetime. Hey, this is survival horror. It's almost guaranteed that it's going to be a short lifetime. While you're surrounded in luxury, and the guests are friendly, not everything is as it should be. The guests and the crew start to turn up dead, the victims of some foul murderer. NightCry is a 3D survival horror game. Move your character around and search the ship. Interact with objects by selecting them. Make sure you check it all carefully, for the clues you need may not be easy to find. But searching isn't all you'll be doing. As you search, you will be haunted, or in this case, hunted, and the Scissor Walker will be coming for you. So if you've ever played any of the past survival horror games on the PS2, such as Clock Tower and Haunting Ground, you'll feel right at home here. It's a game where you don't have much in the way of attacking your enemies. You basically have to run away from them because you're helpless. At least for the most part, anyway. And hey, in my opinion, that's the way survival horror should be. I do have to give one word of warning here though. The PS Vita version of this game doesn't run that great. In fact, the frame rate when you're being chased sometimes will grind to it feels like 10 frames per second. Oh, that was extremely painful back in the day. So, I would only recommend you pick this game up if you're into overclocking your Vita. Doesn't make the game perfect, but it makes it playable. Okay, another cool segue I need now. We now go from, well, come to think of it, this game is pretty dark too. This is Timespinner, and if you love the Castlevania series, well, this game is going to be something that you need on your radar, or you need in your life. It's something you just need. Psst. Especially if you love Symphony of the Night. But don't tell the devs I said that. Travel back in time to change fate itself in this beautifully crafted story-driven adventure inspired by classic 90s action platformers. Join timekeeper Lunaeus on her quest for revenge against the empire that killed her family, using time-bending powers to explore a vast, connected world. In other words, they're trying to subtly hint at Metroidvania. Stop time to evade foes, use them as platforms and solve puzzles. Discover a lovingly crafted, beautiful pixel art art world and uncover a rich story universe, clobbering enemies with magical orbs found throughout the world, which grow in power the more you use them. Befriend mysterious familiars and train them to aid you in battle. Take on challenging boss battles with an emphasis on skill, timing, and dodging. Locate hidden areas and treasures throughout secret walls and platforming puzzles. Featuring gothic PS1 style soundtrack by Jeff Ball, composer of Tiny Barbarian DX and violinist for Steven Universe. So as you can tell, this game has a lot going for it, and thus comes highly recommended. We now go from, not Symphony of the Night to, not Persona. Yeah, that'll work. This is the Caligula Effect, or the Caligula Effect, or I just like saying Caligula. Mobius, an idyllic world that lets people forget about the pain and problems of reality, created by sentient Vocaloid program Mew, I still don't know which one it is. Reality and fantasy have become blurred, allowing people to relive their high school years in bliss. But just how real is a virtual happiness? Oh, and this game is an RPG. I figured I should just mention that right off the bat. And this guy is very, very suspicious. Yet in this seemingly beautiful world, something is amiss. Escape from the false paradise with your fellow students and return to reality in the Caligula Effect. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to an RPG, all you can really talk about is its storyline, so I highly recommend this one. Overall, just picture what Persona 4 would look like if Rise was evil. Oh wait, I guess she kinda was. Oh, and if you're an importer or live in Japan, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. This is Gunvolt, not to be confused with Gun Pixies or Galgun. Honestly, Japan, what is it with you and Moe characters carrying firearms? But don't worry about it, we love you for it. Gunvolt is a retro-style 2D side-scrolling action game with an authentic feel. Not really sure where they're going with that, but I guess it feels old school. Though the style will take you back to gaming in the 90s, new systems will keep the action fresh. Aim for a burst combo by taking out enemies at close range. Choose a character with unique abilities and tune their attacks, defense, and movement options just how you like it with the game's deep customization system. Gunvolt has the responsiveness and challenging gameplay of retro hits with plenty of modern features you've come to expect. Play as Beck, Gunvolt, or Ikaro, and experience their new stories in this unique parallel universe. Enter a virtual world of cyber landscapes and unravel the mystery behind its creation. And I'm sure most of you can probably tell at this point, yeah, it's a Mega Man clone. Not that that's entirely a bad thing, considering we were supposed to get a certain game on PS Vita, which never ended up surfacing, so I guess this is a nice substitute, at least if you're into importing games or live in Japan. At least we finally got some way to play Beck on the PS Vita in some way, shape, or form. And this will conclude my first of many, believe me when I say that, video segments where I talk about games you should be picking up from the PS Vita store before it falls into oblivion. But guys, I gotta ask you again, what games do you recommend people be picking up before the PS Vita store closes? Type them down in the comment section and maybe you'll see your picks in an upcoming video. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. This video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Robert Sylvester, Jamie, Jesus Hernandez, Kayonko, Burrs and Mystery, Juan M. Hermosillo, Eric DeWitt, Tasha Monty, Mazgas, Matt Hargett, Smug Wolf, Sakib Alam, Kabul Trappa, Azumara, Jackie, Donut Valley, Romp King, Dr. Super Artie, Gutter Drums, Hemdall Imbert, Wendy K, David Ray, Phantom XRS, Saul Ramirez, Kyle Brooks, JR, E-Rock, Per Sterner, Adam Thury, Skullshirtugal TCG, BMF, Clayton Merlarkey, Joshua Williams, Jared Haddo, Kevin Enright, Heston Joseph, Aaron Swanson, Rodrigo Vera, Hero Acer, Adam Sondi, PS Vita S, Richard Cruz, Laurie Sweeney, Jelly, H-Hitter, Larry Anderson, Pablo Tonentino Mejia, Makis Blob, B Mystery, Matt Fox, Reiko Star, Neo Arashi, Milk Sama, Bushin Ryu Cat, Robert Johnson, Zekrito, Frayden, Joseph Razmick, Shin Snake, and Ellen Iwazu. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your name on this end screen here, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that can be provided too, then make sure to check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to accomplish this down there. Can't support in this manner? Don't worry about it. Likes and shares can help equally as much. Trying to cover every PS Vita digital store release. Sony, why do you have to do this to us?